Why hello and welcome back to another episode of Voice of the Rings. I'm your hosting guide, Zollin Ironshield, and today we're going to talk about these little things. Now, unfortunately, when I made this video, they're all going to be gone in 21 hours for most of us, but so hopefully you already used them if you got them. They did rework on the commanders, some of the commanders, and I just want to talk about it real fast, and then I'm actually going to use a couple of respect things and pull stuff out right now in the video to kind of show you the things. But basically there was a thing that was going on, which you all knew about, which was ally would trigger with Arid Leader, okay, with Theoden and Éomer. So Denethor and Imrahil would get a bonus, and this would trigger the healing, and they get lots of healing. Now, I thought it was perfectly balanced. My argument was they needed to buff other healers, right? Because the healing seemed about normal, since damage dealing commanders do about 90,000 if they're fully kitted out, right? The really good ones. 70 to 90,000 is kind of the area you get. So having, 2 or 3 healing commanders and you're doing like 60,000 healing, that seems pretty balanced for me, since one damage commander could do 70 to 90,000 damage. If that's your goal. If you're not doing damage, you're healing your defense army. Well, they decided to nerf it and make it where those don't work together, which, we all kind of knew that might be coming. But at the same time, I felt like what they really needed to do was buff other healers. Well, they kind of did buff other healers. Unfortunately, they're still not super great. But, like, for example, here with Éowyn, her shield one, White Lady of Rohan, it now scales with focus, right? Now, this is the case with all commanders, and another big one is that the command stat now gives you healing. So if I look at the command stat, this now, whatever your command is, actually increases that commander's formation healing, right? So it increases her healing by 53% because she's got 290 command. That's cool. So that's a big bonus with healing there for command. And then, of course, most all the healing commanders have focus scaling now, which they didn't once they updated 2.0. They kind of removed that, which was really weird. It should have been there in the first place, but they fixed it. So now it focus scales. It's still not super great. So like my horse ally army can still do quite a decent little bit of healing. They'll heal for like 15,000 with Denethor and whatever. But like, you'd expect Radagast, being the healing master, or Arwen, to do massive healing. The reason I know this is my friend Jethros, you all know him on the channel. He's done a lot of stuff with Arwen, and he gets pretty decent healing numbers, but we're just not really both convinced that it's like going to be an ideal thing if you're putting all these focus items in. And when they updated the focus, we've already redone all our items and lost the item thing, which came with 2.0 to do items over and over to check things. So we kind of used up all our focus items because we wanted to have the things that were meta at the moment, which was damage dealing items or tank defense builds. So there wasn't really a lot of people that kept or maybe focus damage dealing, stuff. But a lot of the focus builds aren't that great. And also this upkeep ability, it's still terrible, okay? So just keep that in mind. Everyone, don't focus this thinking you're gonna, that's gonna really increase my healing. It should be like 20%, and then it would still be fine. So healing is very, very weak still. Again, I've been looking on my friends' reports, and I've been trying some stuff. I had Éowyn and Imrahil, both with their healing abilities. Éowyn healed for like 9,000 with, again, 52% increase here. She doesn't have a whole lot of focus on her items, so maybe she'd heal for a little bit more than that. But, realistically, if I did full focus items with command stuff, probably only get her healing up to like 15,000, maybe 20 if it scales a lot harder than I'm thinking. But it doesn't really seem to be super effective. All right, so that kind of stuff. So keep that in mind. But they did buff all the healing. One thing they buffed, again, that really made me happy was Ori and the dwarves. Musician, remember how I was complaining the musician has no focus scaling like one of its tree originally did in 1.0 of the game? Well, it now scales the focus, which is great for Ori because he has an ability that gives him focus, right? Like I was saying, he's still a little bit of odd dwarf out. Like, he's just like not really excelling at any one thing, but he's a pretty good support commander to an extent, and helping out a little bit. So I think it's cool they gave him scaling on that. It still doesn't seem like the scaling's really mattering too much. Galadriel's healing buff is pretty strong. My friend was using it. The removal, 100% removal for the 2 formations to get rid of a debuff. That's really awesome. But again, the healing numbers aren't like insane. Like, I would assume if you had full focus on this and like Arwen in a group, your healing should be 40, 50,000. Like, you know, a little less maybe than the horse combo previously. Well, it's not. I don't think it even gets close. Like, off and on. Sometimes it does get a little bit up there, but we had a couple reports Jethros showed me, and he got some decent healing in like 30,000s, 40s almost. But again, you have to put all that into it, and now you just have this healing and you have no damage output, right? So you're just like taking a beating and doing very little damage to the enemy army. So it kind of discourages healer builds because, well, if you're just healing and kind of holding your ground, you're going to be losing either way, right? You'll just be slowly losing troops because you're not going to be killing their troops. So it makes people want to do like defensive or damage builds, right, that support the damage dealers, like Bjorn and Gimli and Dane, you know, or Elrond and Gilgalad's army buff, you know, damage setups, or, you know, just going full horse armies and just go full damage stuff on Theoden and all that kind of stuff, right? So anyway, now that I've talked about that, kind of brought you up to speed on that update with healing. And again, a little bit, I'm going to be just a little bit devs, okay? I love the game. I'm a huge supporter of the game, and I always give it glowing praise. But occasionally I do have to point out something that frustrates me a little bit. The fact that it is good you gave focus-based buffs to all the healers, but the healing percents and like the items that give 5%, it's still bad, and they are way too underpowered. Healers should have more strength. Let me just make this very clear. My opinion. This is my opinion. The horse thing with the Imrahil and Denethor working with the Arid leader with Theoden and Eomer, that healing was balanced. Okay, 50 to 60,000 healing. When you have a setup like that, right, where you have all those points in the healing skills on 2 commanders, and it does a cool little synergy like that, that was cool. That was balanced. Okay, so I disagree with that decision, but again, that's up to the devs. That's their decision. But I thought my argument was the other healers need to be buffed. And they did to an extent buff them with having a focus modifier. But again, like I told you, it's after the item changes, so most people aren't going to have those kind of items, right? So that's a little bit rough. And it doesn't seem like the focus itself, I've seen some reports with really good focus items, it really modifies it that much. It should modify it a lot more, is what I'm saying. The healing should be, we should be seeing 30,000 healing out of a healing commander that's all based on healing and buffs, at least. And I'm seeing about 10 to 15,000, like half that. And I think 30 is too low, personally. I think it should be like at least 50% of what damage dealers do. I think that would be logical in a game like this, right? Because you want to have strategy. So that bugs me a little bit. It also bugs me a little bit that change got fixed so quickly with the ally synergy with Arid Leader when I did not think it was overpowered. When Sudin, I can't even say it. She was so busted for like 7 seasons. Yes, Sudin, this character in 1.0, and she never got never nerfed, never adjusted for like 6 seasons. That really annoyed everybody. Even the people that used her, who knew she was really overpowered, were like, yeah, she's overpowered. Everyone knew it. And like, I know that they made some comments like, oh, well, you know, we'll fix it. We just don't know how to nerf her without destroying her setup. There were ways to do it, and they just didn't do it for 6 months. I mean, 6 seasons. So that's a little frustrating to me that like after 1 season with a good thing that isn't overpowered, the healing, by the way. And again, some people in the comments are going to be like, oh no, that ally synergy and was overpowered, 60,000 healing. No, it wasn't. Not when you look at damage dealers. Doing 1 commander can do freaking 70 to 90,000 damage, and 4 commanders doing a combo thing only can heal for 50 to 60? It's not overpowered. So by any stretch of the imagination. But anyway, now with my little piece said there, I want to go ahead and do the conversions of these. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put my item respect into them, because when I use these, okay, one of them is not back at the base. They need to be back at the base. Let me speed these guys up. Get back to base. I need our video faster. Okay, and there we go. Now they're sped up. All right, so now basically, this is going to pull out. So if I use this right now, it will pull out all the respect. This one, see, it will says down to respect 2. I will get 153 respect purple items back for Season 1 commanders, okay? So you do have to think about which ones. So these are only going to be for Season 1 commanders, so they're not going to work for a couple like Imrahil and things like that. Well, it won't come out of Theoden, but when I do Imrahil, it will work for Imrahil and a few other commanders. And if I wanted to do Imrahil, which, again, Imrahil I still think is a good commander, so I'm probably going to keep him, but I may pull out the respect because I can literally put it back. I'm going to get exactly back what I put in, so I could just put it back in later if I wanted to and just use it just to think, so I can hypothesize and theorize to see if I do want to put it back into Imrahil or another commander. So I'm probably going to pull it out of most of these commanders right now in this video. But first, I'm going to put respect into them because I will get the full respect back, right? So, for example, this character, who I don't use very much, he's respect 3. I get 33 to use on any of these commanders. Well, guess what? I have a few items that are directly for that commander. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in here, and I'm going to put that respect into this commander, all right? That's the wrong button. We're putting it here. I got 21 of these, so I'm just going to dump them all into it, okay? I mean, I might even be able to get him to respect 5. Not quite. But boom, now I have more respect into him, and now when I use that letter right now, well, guess what's going to happen? I'm going to get it all into the box, right? So that box will allow me to use, see, and now I have more to pull out. So now I could pull out even more respect, so I can have a different choice than using it on Azor Core, right? I could put him into Gimli now. See what I'm doing there? All right, so now that I put him on him, I'm going to go ahead and use this one. Pull them out. It says this can be used as specific commanders you have recruited to convert a portion of their respect into custom gifts of the same season phase rarity. Respect levels downgraded to a minimum, respect to 0. You can't get rid of them. They have to still be in your thing, is what they're saying. The respect gained from invitations will also be converted into a corresponding number of custom items. So that's kind of cool. So all the invitations you got for that commander, basically they're giving you back the respect. And I gotta compliment the devs. This was very nice that they did this, okay? Because they nerfed the combo that was very nice, I thought, with Imrahil and, again, Denethor and the 2 Horse Lords, right? Eomer and Theoden. I think this was very nice of the devs. So now I'm going to compliment the devs, okay? That they gave us this option to pull out our respect, okay? All the respect items consumed during the Ascension will be refunded, which, remember, if you ascend the commanders from Epic to, the Legendary, or from, Mighty to Legendary, blue, purple, gold, you get those 2. Invitations consumed during Ascensions will be refunded as corresponding number of gifts. If the commander has already crafted their relic, the relic will return to an uncrafted state, and all the materials consumed for crafting, enhancing, or refining the relic will be refunded. So pretty much you're getting back everything. Now, it's a funny thing, it says convert a portion of the respect into custom gifts at the same phase and rarity. It's still giving you full of what you need to get it back to that point. It just means, I believe, the commander respect level cannot be downgraded to a minimum of level 0, which means they won't give you the respect back for that little, 1,000 you needed to actually get the commander to use for tips and get him up, at respect 0. Basically, get him, right, from the whole respect system. I think that's what it means by that, just throwing that out there. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Boop, boom, and boom, drains his respect. And I got a bunch of new things, right, in my items, okay? So I got 54 of these, and you'll see they are right there, okay? But we're going to have more because I want to do more of the commanders. So now I'm going to do this in a little order here. We'll do Denethor, and let me do Hirgon and Denethor real quick. So I just need to go into my commanders, go to Denethor. Hopefully this helps some of you guys in the video. Now, again, I realize this video is going to be out after the fact, but I realized that with the timer, it's going to be the same for all of us. I was like, oh well. But at least you guys, hopefully this helps you out anyway. Kind of gives you some ways to think about this stuff, right? So I got some more respect, so I'm going to go ahead and put it into Denethor here. Whoop! All right, there we go. There we go. Good. And then I want to do Hirgon too. Any respect I have for him? Oh, well, the game, I'm using this on the LD player, and sometimes it'll just go, just die. So let me turn that back on real quick. All right. Anyway, thanks for hanging out, everybody, and watching the video. I was gonna do this by myself, and then I realized, oh, I should do this on a video so you guys can kind of see how this works. And if they ever do this again with these kind of letters, this will be a very helpful video that you've watched, hopefully, because you'll know the trick then. Because if they ever did this again, this trick would most likely always work, I would assume. All right, so there we go. We're doing Paragon, right? Where are you? There he is. I think this commander is so cool. Look at that armor, dude. Oh, so cool. All right. Oh wow, we got all these things. So I'm just gonna pump all of these into him. Whoop. There we go. All right. So he put his respect up. So Hiragon is done. So now let's go back to our items and we will pull out Hiragon's respect and Denethor. Okay. So again, this will actually de-ascend him, meaning I will get a bunch of respect back with these. I'll get some of these back that were used to ascend, by the way, just to be clear here. These are the respect everything up to respect 5. And then when you get to respect 5, you have to use 10 of these and 50 of these to ascend him to 6. Okay? It's probably also pulling out some of these respects from the 6 after that, because he was partially in the 6, right? We just put him there. So keep that in mind. That's why there's 2 separate ones and then this too. So I'm going to go ahead and do this. They want you to read it. They want you to pull it down to make sure, which I understand why. So we're going to pull that down to, should have been probably less than that. I don't know why it went down just to 5, but it brought him down to 0, I believe. Let's just double check. So I'm a little bit curious why it didn't like that. All right. So, oh, it did bring him down to just 5. Oh, interesting. So that was just all the respect past. Okay. All right. So it just brought him back to pre-ascension. Okay, cool. So that's what it said by portion. So I just did the ascendant stuff. So those respect items I had were just basically level 5 after ascending it into 6. So take back a little bit what I said there, because it just brought it down to 5 for him. So, but you guys understand that. I think if you've played this game, you understand how that works by now. All right, we're going to do Denethor. I already put the points into him, so it's going to bring him down to respect 1. Remember, he starts out as a purple or legendary commander. Or sorry, not legendary. Epic. So that's going to bring him down to 1. But I'm going to get a bunch of things back here. And then now, I am definitely going to do it on Arwen and Galadriel, because like I explained at the beginning of this video, they're very cool commanders, and Jethros really wants to try to get Galadriel to work. So if she does, I'll let you know in a video sometime. But I am not going to use Galadriel or Arwen, because I'm a dwarf user. You all know that. I like my dwarves. So if Steve doesn't have any respect, I can add to her. I do have a couple, so I'm going to go ahead and drop in these 6. And then, because I would like to use them on other people. All right, and where's Arwen? There it is. Oh, the invisible Arwen. So I'm going to go ahead and put all of these in Arwen. I had a lot. I didn't realize how many I had. Oh, a task. Now I can do her ring. Dude, why? She's invisible. Has to do with her outfit, I think. Yeah, look at that. My equipped outfit makes her invisible. It's the cloak of invisibility from Harry Potter. All right, there we go. Or it's a hobbit, you know, Lothlorien cloak. They're not really supposed to make you invisible though. Like it's more of like a camouflage. All right. The commander is busy with other affairs. Oh. She might be doing a task. Let me check. Yes. You're gonna have to hurry up there. Oh, perfect. 60 more respect for Galadriel. We'll pull that out. All right, we'll see how that works mathematically. But, all right, so now we can do it. Go back here. All right, Arwen. So I'm gonna get 65 back. She'll go down to respect 2. Interesting. Surprised it doesn't bring her all the way down to 0. But, well, guess that's how it goes. Unless it realized I dropped in some stuff. Did it? Let's see. This one's not. This one's bringing it all the way down. I don't know. This one's giving me all the respect back. So I think it works like that. All right, sweet. So we will take all of that gold respect. Woo! She's back to 0 respect. I'm sorry, Galadriel. All right, so now it's down to characters I actually use. Theoden, if I use it on Theoden, I will get he has not been ascended, but I will get a bunch of respect back. And then I can decide if I want to bring him back up or ascend him or not. I haven't really been using him as much as I thought I'd be. And I really like Imrahil, but he has a lot of respect stuff. So I probably will bring him down to respect 1 and take this back, and then later I can think if I want to put him back up to that. And apparently, he is also busy. Why are all my commanders doing work? Oh yeah, I sent them on jobs. I forgot. There. All right, problem solved. So now let's go ahead and I'm going to dump all the rest of respect in those 3 horse lords pretty much. Respecting to Imrahil. I got some, so I'm going to put those in there. And then I'll just put all the respect. Oh, I can't put it on Theoden. So I guess I'll put it on, because I'd have to ascend him. Let me put it on him, because they were shared the same respect. If you didn't know, they used the same one. So I'm just put these 98 into him. Oh, wow, I actually got him all the way to respect 10 with that. Woo! That's kind of crazy, actually. I could ascend him if I wanted to, but I'm not going to. So I don't think I can drop any more in without ascending them. Yeah, okay, well, we used, that's as much as I'm going to get. So that's fine, though. So we'll go ahead and use this on Imrahil. Get that. Boop. All right. There must be a certain amount you can just remove, respect-wise. There we go, and there we go. Yeah, see, because it's the same for him, but I didn't add any to him, so it doesn't. It's just a certain amount that they let you get back. Is basically what's going on there. It might not be giving you back it for tips, possibly too. So like he just already respect 2 from that and things. So that's what I would assume. All right, there we go, and we will use it on Imrahil. I love Imrahil. I will probably use him in the future still. We'll find out. I'll have to think about that later. But there it goes. D Legendary Ascended. All right, so bunch of stuff back there. So now if we look at our items here, I have, 468 season 1s that I can use, right? To get certain things. I'm going to have to decide who I want to put in. I can use it back for them to get it back, or some for Gimli, but it's only 30 each, remember? So it would be eating up a lot of respect to try to get Gimli up another respect level. But I could do that. And then I have 190 number 2 ones here. So again, they're all the same options, except you also have this one and Imrahil, and these 2 respect, because they were season 2 commanders. So I could technically not use it for Imrahil and use it for, again, Gimli. Just give everything to Gimli. Gimli's all that matters. No, just kidding. So then of course I do have some gold respect ones too now, right? That I took out that I can choose from. And if we go over to my respect items, I now have 40 of these, 15 more of these I got, right? And a couple other stuff too as well, including a bunch back of these back. And yeah, so anyway, we're set up now. So now if I go to my commanders here, you can see I'm all finished with that. And Imrahil is over here, respect 1, poor Imrahil, and Theoden, and yeah, their respect 2. But again, I'll have to decide if I'm going to use them or not. I may end up pulling these items and using them with a different commander. We'll see, because I have my main squad that still runs very nicely without this other squad. So I might just kind of decide over this next season and see where I want to use my respect items, because now I have no timer on it, right? So I may even use some for my Sauron. So we'll see on that. So anyway, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully it was kind of fun. Learned some knowledge from the game and kind of how to think about that. Thanks to my Patreons for their support. Couldn't do it without you. And thanks you guys for watching and liking and subscribing and leaving comments. You got a question? Leave a question. I'd love to answer. And subscribe button's there. Next episode's there. Over there is another playlist. Check it out. Probably do voiceovers, Lord of the Rings Online. Baruch Hazard, Kuzare menu. Have a great day, Miller. I'll see you in the next ones, guys.